These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Saturday, October 28th at 7:54 in the fucking morning.
You can't say we don't love you guys because I'm talking to Jack far too early.
This is terrible. So I got back from the garden. I left the garden like 5 of midnight, right? Got on the tee, got home at like 1:30 maybe, and then I wrote and
It takes you an
edited
hour and a half to
until
get home,
roughly maybe.
and you won't drive?
I hate driving. I won't do it. No, I hate it. I don't like it. It's also cheaper just to not drive.
The money I understand, but I wouldn't want to be bound to that train.
It's like $50 a park plus gas versus just 20 at a park at the other place. Yeah, it's just I don't mind. And I kind of like, as for all the shit, I don't mind taking the public transport. It's fine. It's easy. It's longer, but part of me just likes to.
It is 3
chill.
a.m. for you. You are just
I'm not about it.
Corpse.
I'm so not about this. The reason I'm recording now is because I'm golfing at 11, and then I'm going to a boxing event with my uncle and my brother, and I think my cousin later tonight. And so I wouldn't be home till like 10, 11. And so it's either we record this now or at 10 or 11. And this was the decision.
Be home.
Yeah, this was the choice we made. So you go from library Jack to corpse Jack to dead Jack.
Tranquilized Jack.
Horse tranquilizer Jack.
Not Novocaine, anesthesia Jack.
Yeah, dude, I'm not about it. This is whack.
I don't know if you're going to be as easy of a laugh as you would be on anesthesia, though.
Probably not. The last time I was on anesthesia was when I got my wisdom teeth out, and apparently I was just swearing at the doctors, and they got mad at me. That was the only time I've ever been on anesthesia.
When I got my wisdom teeth out, my mom came with me because I was like high school.
Yeah, it was high school. Yeah.
And she was like, "Yeah, it was really weird. You were telling me you love me," and I was like, "Oh."
I love how that's the weird for you.
Yeah,
that's so fucked up. Anyways,
I got home like serious laugh, and then I'm done. My first like really really hard laugh as a baby is my mom was choking on a grape. So I've been told. I came out the womb a piece of shit.
Jesus, it's too early for this.
5 years ago today, I came out the womb.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Sam!
Actually,
it's too early for me to be paying attention.
Happy birthday from HBTC to me. It is my actual birthday, so I can party too. Hey, all right.
Happy birthday, Sam! Say happy birthday to Sam in the comments. But as I mentioned, I got home from the garden last night. Got home from Celtics-Heat. Celtics won their home opener against the Heat. What was the final score?
They won by 8.
Wow. I was thinking the spread was 8.5. They called it.
Jalen hit a 3 too. Like he did not have to. Well, Devin got it at 8, so he pushed.
Okay, but I won my fate.
Yes, if you took it was 119 to 111. If you took the pick on the stream, you would have lost.
Mm-hmm. But I faded it, so I hit
the 1-1 on the fade.
Mm-hmm. We'll take it though. But Derek White was the star of the show in that game. 28 points, 28 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks. We're not going to go too in depth on it. We did a whole video on it. It's on podcast feeds. It's on YouTube as well. So if you want to listen to our post game thoughts, go check it out there. Library Jack was in full effect. Sean Corrales gave me shit because I was recording in the comment space and he doesn't care, but I asked him anyways. And so he gave me crap after. Shout out, John.
He's the man. He makes the trip back to Rhode Island every game.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Respect.
He's a beast. Yeah. Drew Holiday also had a great game. 17, 10, and 7 for him. Jaylen Brown had a nice bounce back with 27 himself, 50% shooting, 43 from 3. Tatum had 22, 8, and 5, although he was relatively inefficient. And Porzingis had a pretty rough game overall, but he still shot 50% from the field, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 3 steals. That's a pretty good rough game. Yeah. So bench was pretty meh. Hauser, Brissett, Hauser and Pritchard didn't do much. Horford grabbed 10 rebounds. Brissett was really good. Came in, impact player in that first quarter, crashed the glass real hard, won them a bunch of possessions, kind of changed the pace of the whole game, really. Celtics were getting beat in transition a lot early, getting out rebounded on the glass, and Brissett came in, mucked up the game, and kind of changed the momentum a little bit, which was cool to see because that he didn't get minutes in the first game, and then he came in this one and he did something. He changed the game. It was good.
Yeah, they looked horrible in that first half up until Brissett's debut. Comes in the
Yeah.
game, right off rip, gets an offensive rebound off a free throw, gets blocked, but he still gets in the extra possession. He ends up finishing the game with 3 offensive rebounds. Pretty solid debut when you only have 2 points and 5 rebounds. And Jason Tatum is telling you that you're the sole reason that the team got back into the game. He truly turned the tide. He went in the first half. Celtics were down 13, comes out, they're down 3. The plus 10 was for real. That was the truest plus minus you'll ever see. Along with him, Jaylen Brown deserves a shout because he played really well, especially after being very meh in that opening game. But he had stretches yesterday where he turned the ball over, but he was efficient. He made some big shots. He was a big part of that first half charge back into the game. And it was really just good to see him be able to still step into that. And it didn't feel super forced at times. There were times when it was like, calm down, buddy. It's all calm down a minute. You're doing a little bit too much. But even with all that, the efficiency was there. The numbers look good. Fine. And yeah, your guy, Derek White. Massive. One more thing I forgot to say it. Want to see him shoot a 3 or have the opportunity to shoot, because when he was out there in the second half, the Heat were just leaving him wide open. He was the help off guy. They could not care less that he was open in the corner. Nobody was afraid of him shooting, and he didn't even touch the ball. So the Celtics were facing double teams and not getting any sort of benefit from it. That's my last point.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd like to see him shoot. He's not the best shooter, but just being capable or willing to shoot is more than other players can say, i.e. Ben Simmons. And that's what you want to see from those players. But yeah, good game from the Celtics. This is 2 clutch wins in the first 2 games in the season. That's not something you saw a lot last year. So that's a good thing. Let's jump into we're going to do some takeaways, some of our observations from the first 2 games. And my first one is going to be, if you play the Celtics, you're going to have their best shooting night of the year. That's the takeaway I have. Miami shot 48.5% from 3. The Knicks shot, I think, around 44%, because I know combined the 2 teams shot 45.9%. I did the math last night. And I think a mix of that is the Celtics scrambling so much on defense, they give up a couple more open threes than they would want. But it's also just the Heat making a bunch of contested shots, which they do, and the Knicks did the same. And it's frustrating. I will say, if there was ever a time for it to happen, it's probably good to get some of those games out during the start of the season, because it's a good way to test your defense and adjust from there. And the Celtics won both games, right? Like, so there's only so much you can ask. So as much as it sucks that these teams shot so well, and you could, potentially look at, did the Celtics play good enough defense? Like, they won both of the games. So they found a way around it. And I know there was a stat after the first game that after the first night of basketball, only 2 teams won their game when their opponent shot better from 3 and they did, and the Celtics were one of them. And so I wonder what the stat is now, because the Celtics did not. The Heat also shot better than the Celtics from 3, so they're finding ways to win outside of, beating the other team from 3. And that didn't happen a lot last year, so to happen back to back, it's a good sign, I would say.
I'll tell you what, Miami shot 61.5% from 3 in the second half, 8 of 13. Just every big 3 that has been thrown up against the Celtics this year has found the bottom of the net, and I'm sick and tired of it. Your point is great. I'm not really sure that it's the Celtics' fault that these shots are going down. There are times where guys are getting open looks, but at the same time, Kevin Love made a few tough ones. Hero made some tough ones off screens. Like, they really did a pretty decent job at running them off the 3-point line, and in the second half, it didn't matter. The same thing was true against the Knicks. The Knicks were lights out in that second half. It was one of the reasons they stormed back and took a lead in the fourth quarter, was because they could not miss from long range. So I'm interested to see how it goes for the Celtics when they don't have to face a team that is just not missing shots, especially from deep. Your other point on the sheet is that the defense is nasty.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd imagine that doesn't have anything to do with the threes. It's just they're getting unlucky.
Partially, yeah.
Better
I'm
now than the
looking-
conference finals.
I'm looking to see. Yeah, okay, this makes sense. So the Heat took 5-6 tightly contested threes with a defender within 2 to 4 feet, and they made 5 of them. so, so
Yeah.
there's a stat for you.
All right.
That's pretty fun. Yeah, the Celtics are doing their best. How many wide open threes did they get? That's the thing that I look for. They got a decent amount, actually. They got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of their 30-something were wide open. So maybe that's something you want to cut down on. I don't know what the league average is. A lot of that is just good ball movement and finding an open corner guy and driving kicks. So it is what it is. But 5 of 6 on contested threes is cool. Very cool, Miami. I wonder what the Knicks
It's
wonder what the
ass
Knicks did.
is what it is. Ass. It should be illegal. Miami shouldn't be allowed to make contested threes after the conference finals. They should have burned every single 3-pointer that they had in the bank. Maybe it resets at the end of the season and they're just getting after it early. But I should not have to watch another game where Jimmy off the street for the Heat. I guess Jimmy's Joey off the street for Miami is just knocking down 3 or 4 threes, and it's just like, who is this guy? Like Kyle Lowry had 13 points yesterday. What?
Yeah,
Kyle Lowry was a corpse all of last season. Now all of a sudden he can play. He's 3 of 4 from deep. Like, what are we watching?
Yeah,
He was a real pain in the ass. He looked like prime Lowry, where he was just annoying the hell out of me. That's for damn sure.
No, yeah, I agree. It's not fun to watch. It's very frustrating. But I still do think the defense has shown that it's can be the best in the league. Like, this defense has been great so far. The paint defense in particular, they're not giving up points in the paint. It's very reminiscent of the Bucks defense with Brook Lopez. It is, maybe we'll give up some threes, but you're not scoring on us in the paint. I don't know how much of that is Charles Lee, probably a lot, or how much of it is just them having the guy who can play that style of defense now in Kristaps Porzingis. But teams are not scoring in the paint against the Celtics. The excuse me, the Knicks shot poorly from 2. The Heat also shot worse from 2 than they did from 3 in the game they played the Celtics. That's turning into a trend very quickly. The Celtics have only averaged 113.5 points through 2 games, and they're 2-0. If it like that, this just isn't something that happened last year. The Celtics were very dependent on their offense, and I still do think they need to find a better offensive consistency with how poor the ball movement has been at times. But to see them win these 2 games with defense and with clutch time performances and big time plays towards the end of the game, like, that's huge. That's really, really huge.
Yeah, this is just me.
yeah.
Like, I'm not talking now, I am, but it's just me nodding. And if you're watching, you know it's not true. But in my head, I'm just sitting there, like, vigorously nodding like Jack Nicholson in the GIF. It is just everything I could have asked for. The Celtics are playing defense. They're closing games. This is 2 clutch wins. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. And they have not only been good at the end of games in the actual clutch time minutes.
Yo, sorry, I just looked up a stat. What are the Celtics opponents through 2 games shooting less than 5 feet from the hoop?
30-something%.
42.9.
Okay.
The next best is 46.5. Okay, sorry, this number's even better. Through the first 2 games, Celtics opponents are shooting 38.8% in the restricted area.
Ooh.
You know how fucking crazy that is?
Yeah.
The next best number is 46.5, and only 3 teams have it under 50%. That's insane. 38.8%. They've made less than 10 shots a game in the restricted area through 2 games.
I'm
That's
curious
crazy.
to see what it's going to look like if they continue to be able to block shots at such a high clip. Like Derek White, 3 blocks yesterday. Porzingis had 4 in the opener. And against Miami, they made them struggle inside, and Bam was a force still. Like, he was
Celtics,
40% from the field, but he was there driving
good.
force. You know,
Celtics have 17 blocks on the season. Only 1 team has more. Do you want to guess who it is?
This
is a test.
is it OKC?
It's not. It's the Pistons. Jalen Duren leading the charge
boys,
there.
they won yesterday.
Your fellas. No, yeah. Celtics defense has been insane. Their defensive rating isn't as good, but I think a part of that is the Heat and the Knicks shooting like 50% from three through 2 games.
But the Wizards on Monday, dude, just thinking about all those balls bouncing off the rim.
Get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets. Guaranteed. That's guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. It absolutely is. The app is easy to use, and you can be on everything from spreads to player props and more. So visit FanDuel.com/Boston. Kick off the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Yeah, that should be a fun one.
They're going to
Wizards
lose now.
Yeah, right. The Wizards have the worst defensive rating in the NBA by a mile at
Yeah,
128.8.
they're so bad. They are so bad. They gave up 143 points on opening night to the Pacers. They're terrible.
Yeah, that's their only game so far, so it's not really a fair stat,
Kristaps'
but they're
return
terrible.
game?
Yeah, I think they boo him.
Maybe.
I don't think they have a reason to, but
Yeah, he was there for like a season. Like, is Brogdon going to get booed here? I don't think so. Maybe.
that'd be funny.
We have some idiot people in our fan base, so I don't know.
I agree.
All right, let's see. We've done teams can't miss. Defense is nasty. We'll go from the bottom up. The offense has been kind of stagnant. The ball hasn't popped around quite as much as I would like. They've only averaged 19 assists per game. It's been 2 games. But that's on the lower side, especially because they're scoring over 100 points. I mean, every team is over 110 points, I should say, per game. Would like to see that. It's a chemistry thing, sure. Like, a lot of these guys at the top, they're still getting used to playing with each other. Yesterday, I thought it was better. But there's a lot of just ISO, dribble, step to the side shots. It's me time shots. And I'm not loving it. Not loving it. Even the Derek White stretch. I love Derek White cooking, but like that wasn't a product of good ball movement. It was a product of absolute baller play from Derek White. Maybe
it feels
you
like
get away with that because your team's so good at the top. But I don't know. Move it around.
Yeah, it feels like the Celtics have rested too much on the fact that they're just really good. As weird as that sounds, like they're just playing one-on-one. They're playing a lot of, attacking mismatches, like it was Drew Holiday and Tatum attacking Jaime Jaquez, or them going at Tyler Hero and hunting those matchups. And that's fine. But it has to come with drive and kick. It can't just be, let me attack this and take a silly turnaround fadeaway, because that's where we get Hauser Island from. Like, that's the reverse effect of the Celtics just not passing the ball enough and them just settling for these pull-up shots without any ball movement or off-ball movement. The off-ball movement's another big thing. Jaylen Brown had a nice cut at one point. Drew Holiday did too. Shea Brissett was doing it all game. But other than that, there's really there's no off-ball screens. There's no cutting off the ball. There's no running around to grab the ball. It's a lot of, okay, the guy with the ball is going to initiate the offense and everyone else is going to stand around while he does it. Like, that's not exactly what you want to see from a team, regardless of the talent that has championship expectations. You want to see them do a bit more on the offensive end. As far as your other thing on here, early threes is something you've been looking at, right?
I don't love the early threes. It feels like there's a lot of them, so I went and looked it up. It's not as glaring, but let's see. 12% ish of their possessions overall, this is not just their 3-point shots, are early chucks. They've, of their 39 average 3-point attempts, again through 2 games, 10 of them are coming with more than 15 seconds on the shot clock. That really shouldn't happen. I'm okay. You have to account with a few for the fast break. I'm okay with it on the fast break. If one guy is driving, instead of filling the lanes, going to the block, it's okay to go to the corners in the wing. Fine, because you're going to be so open, and it's in rhythm. But I've seen a lot, and I'm sure you have too, of a lot of guys just calling their own number at the top of the key. Tatum taking some early ones. Brown, even Derek White took a couple yesterday.
Pritchard. Everyone does, yeah.
Pritchard made it. was fire.
He did. It was cool, but
I don't even Drew Holiday likes an early in the shot clock three too. I just don't think that's the best practice with this team. They have too much talent for that to be a staple of their offense. Like that should be closer to 6 to 8% instead of 12%. You can work to get better shots. And there again, there's nothing wrong with threes. This is not me being like Celtics never take threes. Don't take threes.
Sam hates
No.
threes.
I don't love the threes, but if you're going to take them, there is a way to do it. You can move the ball around, make those shots even easier and more in rhythm rather than just, okay, look at this, watch this, right here, three, and then throw it right off the backboard. It's a Michael Scott.
It is weird because it does feel to some degree that the Celtics haven't been taking a lot of threes, but I think the reason for that is they haven't been taking a lot of the threes they worked for last year because a lot of them have been those dribble pull-ups. Like there haven't been enough catch and shoot opportunities, in my opinion, for the Celtics. You see Derek White get them. You see Kristaps Porzingis get them. That's kind of it, right? Like no one else is really getting those catch and shoot threes. Sam Hauser obviously gets them when he gets in the game because that's just the only way he scores. But it just feels like they're not fighting to look for those looks as much this year. So far, again, it's 2 games. These are all early, reactions, but it's just, they're averaging 25 of their, how many threes have taken? 39 are catch and shoot. So that means 14 of their threes a game are not catch and shoot threes. Don't love it, right? Don't love that number. I wonder how many catch and shoot threes they averaged last year. I'm going to check now, but 25 catch and shoot threes a game, 38% are going in. It's actually not an amazing number. I mean, you'd like to see it a little higher, but they're just not working to get those same looks as much because it feels like they're relying on their talent, which is fine to some degree. Yeah, they averaged 30 catch and shoot threes last year, so they're getting 5 less catch and shoot threes a game this year than they did averaged across all last season. So hopefully that numbers goes up as the offense works out the kinks, but it feels like they've taken we have so much talent, we can work to get our own looks to a too large of a degree. Like it's rather than we're also good that we can improve the offense the Celtics played last year because we're so talented. It is, we can just make our own offense and figure it out, which again, the positive is they've won the games regardless of that. So it shows that they are that talented that they can win some of these games. And that should, I mean, these are the games that this is what I expected the playoffs to look like. This mismatch hunting, this very ISO talent heavy style, but it's not sustainable throughout the regular season. You got to get into the offense that was so successful at the start of last year. You got to fight for those better catch and shoot looks. And they haven't done that through 2 games. The ball movement just needs to be a bit better, more free flowing.
Yeah, I don't love it. I think they've got some work to do here. And I guess that's good because they've won their first 2 games against teams that
exactly
many considered to be good teams. Great, cool, good start, but you have to keep getting better. I want to see these guys really play together. This team could really be an absolute hoss if they are moving the ball and keeping the defenses moving and rotating and guessing. When it becomes Tatum, oh, Tatum's covered, okay, pass the ball. It's not good basketball. I don't want them to go towards that Luka ball. I don't. It sucks. Yes, Dallas is 2-0, but it is painful to watch. And it's just not the right way to play.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, next thing, let's check in with some former Celtics, i.e. the Celtics who were on the team last year but are no longer with the team. Starting with Marcus Smart. Through 2 games with the Grizzlies, he's averaging 18.5 points, 4 assists. You didn't put the A or the 4 assists and 3.5 steals on 54.2, 38.5 splits. Second leading scorer in Memphis. Shocker, Marcus Smart is awesome. It's like that's the takeaway. Marcus Smart's
great. Been perfect. Also 3.5 turnovers per game. But
that's not ideal, but
Memphis 0-2. They miss Ja and they miss the other big guys.
Steven Adams, Brandon Clark. It's tough when the injuries are piling up like that, but Marcus Smart is doing his best to help keep them on pace where they want to be. He's averaging the 4th most minutes on the team, leading second leader in scoring taking the third most shots a game. Shooting very efficiently though, and that's what they want to see from him. So I'm sure
People
he'll have
are pretty happy with him from what I'm
yeah,
seeing on Twitter. They
that's
they
good.
like his defense. He had 5 steals yesterday. It's kind of nuts, but a lot of people praising him. A lot of Grizzlies counts all about Marcus. So I'm happy they're treating him
Good.
nice. Yeah.
Need that. Love to see it. Grant Williams averaging 11 points for the Mavericks, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 2.5 turnovers a game, though. Excuse me. Sorry. He's leading the Mavericks in turnovers, which is kind of funny. I got something in my throat.
I'm not laughing at you.
Leading the Mavs in turnovers, but he is shooting 47% from the field, 42% from deep. That's why they signed him.
Okay.
That and the defense, he's averaging the third most minutes on the team behind Luka and Kyrie. He's been good for them. He's played the role they wanted him to play, and that's all that really matters for them. So,
Yeah.
Grant, good.
So I went on Twitter like I did, and I'll keep doing this for all these guys. And the first notable tweet that is not from Grant Williams that came up says Grant Williams runs like he's got big titties. So Dallas Mavericks fans are learning what it is like to see Grant Williams hustle up and down the court.
Yeah,
I'm not seeing a whole lot of disrespect for Grant though, so that's good. It looks like they're not over his antics just yet.
Well, they don't play much defense in Dallas, so he's probably a welcome sight. He's probably a welcome sight. And the Blazers, fellas, looking at Malcolm Brogdon, 19 points, 4.5 rebounds, 3 assists, only 1.5 turnovers, shooting 45.2% from the field and 45.5% from deep, tied with Shaedon Sharpe for leading the Blazers in scoring in only 26.6 minutes a game, which is like 6th on the team. So he's playing real well for them. He was in the closing minutes last night when I was watching the game. He's been very, very good so far. So they're probably pretty happy.
Yeah, Brogdon came out and said over the summer that he prepared to be traded to the Clippers twice. So he definitely thought he was gone that first time. And then there was another time that he thought he was going there, maybe after he joined the Blazers. I don't know. But I'm not seeing a whole lot of Brogdon hate on Twitter or anything at all about Malcolm Brogdon, other than he kind of looks like Andre Miller in a Blazers uniform. But
yeah,
I don't see too much of hot takes on Malcolm. But he's gotten off to a good start, and it shouldn't be the most shocking thing in the world when he was a prominent piece of what the Pacers were doing. He was averaging just about the same scoring-wise. His assists were up a bit higher, though. Also, Brogdon on Twitter, by the way, still has him with the banners as his picture.
Yeah, Brogdon doesn't strike me as a social media guy.
Definitely is not. Definitely is not.
Last guy, Robert Williams, is averaging 8 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1.5 steals, and half a block a game on 66.7% shooting, getting 21.6 minutes a game. Him and Ayton are basically splitting those center minutes. Ayton getting 27, Rob getting just under 22 now. Ayton also not been very great. He's averaging a ton of rebounds, so give him credit for the defense and the that, but he's only averaging 9 points. But Rob's been fine. Any Rob slander? Is it all fine for Rob on Twitter? Is there not much?
A lot of excitement about Rob. They like his super
Good.
cool dunks. He made a jump shot on the opening game against the Clippers.
Yes, I saw that. People are calling him Garnett. I saw people saying you wish.
They're like, oh my God. Somebody put the Vince McMahon video and says, Dad, what was it like watching Marcus throw lobs to Robert Williams?
Special. Something I've seen a lot on Twitter is the Grizzlies looking for trade targets for like center trade targets, and Rob has been like a name that people have thrown around, so that would be fun. So
if they went and got Rob, special.
Celtics West.
Yeah,
Nice.
then I can shout out to RJ, Celtics West.
Yeah.
I literally thought I froze. That's how.
No, sorry, I'm out of it. I'm out.
Or not even joke, just illusion.
I was watching.
Blog name.
I was watching there's something that came up on Twitter. I saw there's a video of Chris Forsberg heartbroken after the Rob trade, and then it's
that's the first thing that comes up.
Yeah, but then he may have found his rebound, and it's just him like falling in love with Porzingis. Anyways, let's check in with our emails. I know we have a bunch today, so we'll get through them pretty quick. But yeah, let's take a look at and see what we got. First one from Philip Hart, from a couple days ago. Psychology of overreactions. Hi, fellas. Thanks for humoring me to talk about fan and player psychology. Sam asked why fans and media are so quick to flip-flop based on recent wins and losses. Luckily, this is a fairly easy one to explain. Though there are a number of factors that go into flip-flopping. The big one is recency bias. It is a memory bias where we overestimate the value of recent events and predicting the future. Perhaps that helps explain the psychology of a slumping shooter or a hot hand. We don't make this mistake when we are a weathered veteran, but newbies can't help but react to strong events or react strongly to recent events, seeing them as more valid predictors than events further in the past. We won last night. This team's going all the way. Away, we lost. Fire Joe. We're so back, and it's Jover. I think this seems worse when a team takes on a lot of bandwagon fans or unusual media coverage. Patriots fans. All the new eyes lack the experience to not fall into recency bias. That said, KP for MVP. Obviously, all the best, Phil.
Respect, Phil. See, here's the problem with this, though. Like, I overreact.
Me too. Yeah, it's
I'm
natural.
just like 2-0, even though we just like spent a bulk of the show being like these guys still kind of suck and they need to get their heads out of their ass. But also, title
2-0, 83-0 on the way.
Yeah,
Eyes. Got to include that playing game or the in-season tournament. Philip, Hero Ball. Jack and Sam, do you gentlemen watch Hero Ball and Bleacher Reports? Just as good of Game of Zones. Was in the latest episode drop with the Dame trade was no exception. I would love to hear reactions to episodes if you watch the show. This is our homework. We'll watch Hero Ball, and next pod or in a future pod we will talk about it. I have not seen it. I've heard it's good though. I've seen
I saw this email yesterday. I meant to watch it. I'm sorry, Philip. Sorry.
Sam's a loser. I'll check in. I'll make sure to check it out. Alrighty. Oh gosh. All right. Let's see. Where did we go right? Hey guys, time for another first quarter deep dive on the Celtics offense. The men in green had a great pacing in the opening period. The key elements per possession. This is from
the Knicks game.
This is Knicks game. The key elements per possession, which I've marked in the bold type in my mind, are how quickly did the Celtics get into the front court and how quickly did they get a shot off. So we can look at some of your early threes here, Sam. Getting into the front court before 19 seconds is my definition of good. Getting a shot off in the top half of the clock, 12 seconds or earlier is good. If you're shooting after a reset, make that 7 seconds. You can browse the summaries, but look for how often you see boldface items. Remember, bold type equals good. So bold is 12 seconds or earlier, 7 seconds. Okay, so shot with 14 seconds. This was shot with 19 seconds, so that's not a good one for Sam.
No, it was just the ball got into the front court. Ball went out of bounds, so it was tough possession.
Another 3 to 5 seconds. 21 seconds after a rebound. Tatum made a 5-footer at 17-second mark. Fine. 15 seconds. 21, 16, 20, 22. This is another transition though, fast pace. Cruises and then 11 seconds in a shot. So I think RJ is prioritizing fast pace offense here for his bold.
Fast
20
pace
seconds,
offense is okay. It's just
15.
There's a difference between fast pace and settling.
Yeah. 21 dribbles at 21, contested 3 at 17. This is the stuff you probably don't like.
Yeah.
But he made it. So elbow jumper with 5 seconds. Holiday dribbles 3-pointer with 7 seconds. 21 seconds. Yeah. So a lot of early shot clock shots, but also a lot of them were fast pace, getting to the front court after a rebound. So like I do think there's a balance.
Out rebounds and dribbles in 21 seconds passes to Pritchard, who launches a contested 3 at 19 seconds.
This is Sam's nightmare. That's the nightmare.
I remember that possession too, and he should have hit Porzingis because that was right after Porzingis hit the bank 3.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, heat check. And Porzingis was trailing, like ready to step into a 3 right at the top of the key, his money spot. And it was like, it's Pritchard time.
Did he make it?
No.
See all that lovely bold font, lots of zippy basketball, and way less of what we saw last year. Slow advancement followed by hammering the nail, followed by an ISO shot to avoid a 24-second violation. These Celtics weren't always sprinting, but they were playing with purpose and execution, which resulted in a 30-point quarter. They keep this up for more of the game, and it'll be a fun season indeed. Be well, RJ. I do agree in the sense that they are playing faster this year. Now, what we said earlier, I think still rings true that they need to move the ball more, but they are definitely making a concerted effort to not drag the ball up the court as much as they did. And in crunch time, there's a lot less of let's bleed the clock with 4 minutes left and more of let's focus, which is very fun to see. That's how you should be
Bleed
playing.
the clock, baby. No.
Yeah. All right.
Pass it around.
Christian Calderon, welcome, Christian. Thank you for the email. Behind the scenes media member. Hey, fellas, I'm sure you've seen O'Shea Brissett's YouTube channel where he gives us some cool behind the scenes look at what goes on as a player on the Celtics. My question is, can you give us a behind the scenes look at what goes on as a media member for the Celtics? You don't have to carry on a camera, but maybe walk us through how you prepare for games you're going to cover. How early do you get there? How long after a game do you stay? Do you have predetermined questions or let the game decide? Do you know which players are going to be available for posting comments? Any other cool tidbits? Big fan of the pod. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Christian.
Thank you. You want to
Yeah,
run through that?
Yeah, let's rock. How early do you get there? So I usually get there. I leave my
It's
house
good
at
for me.
Yeah. So I leave my house. I drive to the T station, get on the T, and I'm usually at the place garden by like 4:45. I think I was there a little early yesterday. I think I was there at like 4:30, but that's because I like to leave my house super early in case there's traffic and stuff. So I'll leave my house at like 3, get to the T, park, get in, and then I'm there by like yesterday was 4:30, but if there's traffic or the T is slow, then I get there latest at 5. Because Joe's pregame press conference is an hour and 45 before tip every time. So for a 7:30 game, his press conference is 5:45. And so when I get there, yesterday I went into the cafeteria and I wrote, or the little food room. It's not like a full on cafeteria, but it's like a room with tables. It's effectively that. I wrote, and then I sat by the court for a little bit, taking like videos and stuff and just chatting with people. And then there is a media room. I don't have a seat in it. It's for like there's tier 1 and tier 2 media. So that's like the Boston Globe. That's John Krause. That's people.
That's the people that get to sit not at the top floor.
Yeah, so I sit on the 9th floor for games. There's people who sit on the loge level, but there's only a certain amount of those seats. So how long do I stay after? So it depends. I only stay till like just before midnight because I have to catch the T, but you can stay as late as you want. Bobby Kurtz, he was telling me a story once. Literally, Bobby Kurtz, he told me a story once. He was like, there was one night after an overtime game where I was literally here till 5 a.m. because I was just writing. So you can just stay there and just do whatever you want for the whole night. So that's
you can't do whatever you want. You can't go out there and shoot hoops.
You can't do
fire if you could.
Well, they broke it down last night for the Bruins, so that you couldn't do anything. Do you have predetermined questions, or do you let the game decide? I usually let the game decide. Sometimes I have like angles that I was thinking about beforehand, but it's usually just I write down notes in my little notebook, and then I ask questions based on that after the game. Do you know which players are going to be available? They let us know when we get down to the media room, so usually we'll get down there, and then Jeff Twiss, who's a PR guy who's been there forever, he'll say like, these people are in here, these people are in the locker room. I don't have locker room access, but the people who do can then flip-flop based on what they want to get and who they want to ask questions to. So it'll be like last night it was okay, Jason and Jason Tatum and Derek White are in here, the press conference room, and then I think it was Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday are in the locker room talking, so they'll talk there. And then Joe always talks in the press conference room. He's always first, so you always get Joe. Any other cool tidbits, excuse me, of what goes on during media member? There's food. It's $10, and you can just get a bunch of food, which is nice. I sit up on the 9th floor. It's fun up there. There's a bunch of people I know.
Can't clap.
No, you can't root for the team. You can like smile if there's a super cool play, and you do it if it's the Heat of the like if somebody makes a cool play, we'll be like, oh shit, that's a cool play. But you can't be like overly egregiously cheering or anything. Practices are cool. This is my first year being at practices. Those are fun. Tidbit from practice: Jay King always walks in and says "Sup, fuckers," and like runs in the room, and that's an entertaining part. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. If there are any questions I didn't get to, send them in the email. But that's pretty much the rundown. And yeah, thank you, Christian. We appreciate you being the first time email.
Yes.
Please send us more. RJ Ratlist NBA streaming. Ratlist did the NBA for their streaming options. for their streaming options. We cut the cord on cable when we moved into our new house, and I thought we could run the NBA app through our TV like we do for MLB, but it was a cluster mating season trying to get that set up. The NBA refuses to believe that someone cannot have cable or satellite service. We finally hooked up a small computer dedicated to the flat screen, and now the NBA thinks our ginormous flat screen is just another desktop monitor. Come on, NBA. Yeah, the NBA streaming services are terrible. I've seen a bunch of stuff on Twitter the past couple of days too that like no one's buying League Pass, and that's because it's like obscenely expensive. And like, I mean, I know I have it just because like this is my job, so I kind of have to have it. But if I'm just a college kid looking to watch some games and I see the price of League Pass, I'm just like, I just don't want to spend that much money. Like that, it's just they kind of make it unaccessible. Yeah. So they're cutting off their demographic a lot there. But yeah, rat list. I agree.
You get League Pass.
Yeah, maybe that's the option. RJ, Harden trade options benefits to Celtics. So the beard is being shopped around. Let's consider his current possibilities and how they help or hinder the Celtics. Clippers or Timberwolves, frees up rotation time and shots for Maxey. That, along with Harden not being present on the court, makes Philly better. Value to the Celtics, annoying more so during the playoffs and gets and picks. Philly gets Heat. This immovable beard versus the irresistible hair gel. Who wins this contest of hairstyles and attitudes, Harden or Riley? I want to believe that Harden will spoil Heat culture, but he might just have enough. He might have just enough spite in him to care and play well in Miami. Value to the Celtics. It will either blow up the Heat this season or jumpstart them. There is no middle ground. Yeah. No trade. Harden stays put and everyone in Philly is as comfortable as when Uncle Harry is getting sloshed at Thanksgiving dinner. Sixers remain a playoff team, but Embiid may reevaluate if he wants to stay in town long term. Benefits Celtics because we could always put Pouty Beard at a key pull Pouty Beard at a key moment, and we can beat good but aging Harden. Be well, RJ. Yeah, I mean, that about breaks it down. I don't think the Timberwolves or the Heat would trade for Harden. It feels like based on the way the Clippers are negotiating, they're the only teams involved in those negotiations. So I don't really see him going anywhere but the Clippers. Maybe there's a question of if he even gets traded in the first place. But Harden, the whole Harden situation, as we said all summer, is just a huge win for the Celtics because if he gets traded, the Sixers are probably worse regardless, just because you're not going to get fair value return for him at this point because the way he's handled it. And if he stays in Philly, then it's good for the Celtics because he's pouting and making a mess in Philly. So it's kind of a win-win no matter which way you swing it, although the Heat point is scary. If he does buy into Heat culture, that probably wouldn't be too fun for Boston, even though they did just get the win over Miami the other night. So that's a good thing. Thank you, RJ. We appreciate you very much. Last email of the program. RJ, don't panic. Evening, gents. This was 4 hours ago. This is 4 a.m. Or I guess, I don't know if you're West Coast, East Coast, RJ, but 4 a.m. for us at least this morning. So 4 hours ago. Evening, gents. Game usually have a storyline that stands out. Against the Knicks in a lot of ways. It was the KP and Tatum show. Tonight had a theme, and it was much more subtle, in that no one player dominated the game, but everyone pitched in, stayed focused, and got the job done. I was listening to the game on streaming, and when the Celtics went down 13 in the first quarter, my mind flashed back to Grandy's most annoying stat from last year about how the Celtics had terrible results when they fell behind by double digits. But just like defenses preach and staying in contact with your man on defense, the Celtics didn't let Heat get separation. More importantly, when I watched the game later on, the Celtics never had the body language they exhibited against the Heat last year. That sense of, oh no, here we go again. They were the ones who kept grinding, not content to just get ahead, but to do what it took to stay ahead. Even at the end when KP fouled out, the Celtics stayed cool and ran through the finish line. Shout out Al Horford. A few notes. Did you notice how little we saw of the old JT dribble out high, don't pass, take a three tonight? It didn't sink in until the third quarter. Now, how much he was getting inside along with moving the ball or taking a three in the flow of the offense. I like the Tatum we saw tonight. The Heat had several of their baskets that came from players knowing each other and knowing where and when to drop off an interior pass, stuff like that. The Celtics had some turnovers that were more a matter of missed timing from not having that familiarity. I'll take 15 turnovers when they forced 12 on the Heat. 2 games, 2 wins. Neither was wall-to-wall highlight reel stuff, but they were wins. That's what champions do. Be well, RJ. Yeah, I agree. Tatum took a bunch of threes, but it felt like he wasn't forcing, and he was definitely getting inside, attacking Jaime Jaquez, which was good. KP fouled out, but Al Horford is a great backup option when KP fouls out, so that's a nice thing to have off the bench. I don't know how much Sam heard of the email because I know he was lagging. I could hear him struggling, but it's if there was a time to struggle, it's while Jack's reading the email. So
it sure is. It's literally the worst thing ever. I want to scream.
But
Literally
Maybe
trying
the
everything. Unplugging, plugging in, moving the thing.
That's all right.
Thing's dog shit.
That's all right. We got through the emails. Thank you, RJ. Thank you, Philip. Thank you, Christian. Let us know if you have more questions. We're happy to oblige. But moving on to the NBA portion of the program. In talking to Sam before we started the show, we both watched a little bit of basketball outside of the Celtics. Obviously, the main focus has been that. But are there any teams that stand out to you from a non-biased perspective as the most entertaining to watch so far that you've enjoyed watching?
Well, OKC has won both games.
They have.
And that is a team I have not got to watch yet.
Okay.
But I know they're a team to keep your eyes on because they're a big, maybe they're going to take a leap team. So is Orlando, who's also 2-0. Now, Orlando has beaten the piss out of the Rockets, and they also beat Portland. So they don't have the most impressive slate of wins.
Thunder beat the Cavs, though. That's a good win.
OKC did beat the Cavs. They beat the Cavs. Other teams that I've thought are interesting. I thought that Philly-Milwaukee game was really good.
It was.
It was pretty interesting because Philly didn't have Harden, and they still almost won that game. And Milwaukee kind of collapsed, and then Philly collapsed. It was like neither one of us wants to win this game.
I will say, since we said non-biased, Dame is so good. He's so fucking good. It's so annoying. He's been so good for the Bucks. He's the perfect fit. He's exactly what they wanted to see. Which again, from a Celtics perspective, is probably frustrating, but from a basketball fan perspective, like respect, right? Like he's just nasty.
Yeah.
Other teams that have been fun / caught my eye. The Kings Warriors game last night was really good. The Warriors had a big lead with 4 minutes to go. I watched the rest on my train ride home. Kings fought back. De'Aaron Fox is still clutch. He's still that dude. Chris Duarte was checking Steph Curry full court, doing a pretty good job. So that was fun to see. Keegan Murray took a crazy 3 to like try to cut the deficit with like a minute something left. Not even close. It was like contested. He's like,
that was the Denzel Valentine.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that bad, but it was not close. The Jazz got a cool win. Jordan Clarkson hit a fucking ridiculous shot to put them ahead, and then Russ missed a pass to lose the game. So that was something I watched.
The airball.
Yeah, he did not play well.
Russ
The Bulls had
man.
the Bulls had the weirdest box score I've ever seen. Everyone except for like a few players on their bench was like a plus minus, and then Alex Caruso was a plus 29 in a 1-point win. Like, what the fuck? What the hell? How are you plus 29 in a 1-point win? It's crazy. So shout out to Alex Caruso. Yeah, shout out to Alex Caruso. I guess. Shit, man.
Chicago is a dumpster fire. Terrible.
Yeah,
they don't have any direction. Levine sucks. He's been a minus. His net rating has to be already in the 50s by now, minus 50.
Oh, I can tell you. Let's take a look.
He was horrible in the opener. He was horrible yesterday.
Minus 22 through 2 games.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's still not good.
He was just bad in the first game, but the plus minus didn't reflect it. But yesterday was really, really not a good plus minus.
Yeah, Levine hasn't been good. The Bulls haven't been good. Spurs 1-1 picked up a win in OT against the Rockets. Wemby had 21 points, 12 rebounds, 3 steals, 3 blocks, and he didn't make a 3. This dude's nasty. The Rockets are terrible. Their idea was awful. Fred VanVleet actually had a really good game. He didn't make his 3s, but he did everything else. He had 24, 8, and 12. Alper and Şengün had 25, 14, 7, 2, and 1. So he was also good.
He was unrightfully stolen from me in a fantasy draft.
Yep. But the Spurs took him.
You know what the worst part of that was? The guy took like a minute and a half. He took the whole clock.
Yeah. He was thinking, man. He was thinking.
The people that take the clock are ratless. Not that we're there yet, but you take the whole time on the draft.
Anything else that stood out so far? I don't think so. Jalen Duren has been really good. But that'll bleed into our next thing anyways. We're going to take a look and overreact or jokingly overreact to some NBA player stats because obviously it's been 1 to 2 games. But we're going to see who's leading the league in points. See who's leading the NBA in scoring. It is Luka. Cam Thomas averaging 33 points through 2 games is kind of nuts because it's not like he averaged like 15 and 17. It's both like 36 and 30. Like he's putting up a 30-pointer in both games. So shout out Cam Thomas, an efficient 30 points too, 62% from the field, and 33.3% from 3. He's taking 20 shots a game and only 4.5 of them are 3s. So he's taking a lot of middies.
Kelly Oubre
speak to you. Yeah, he had a really, really good opener. He's been good.
How'd the Celtics not sign him? What the hell?
How'd nobody
Especially
sign
after
him?
what I've seen these first couple games, like haven't been overly impressed with Hauser. I guess Brissett kind of came in and made his presence felt yesterday, so I'm not too worried about that backup spot. But I
Yeah,
mean, Kelly Oubre, just
yeah,
absolute
but
masterclass against Milwaukee. Now he started right, so
I,
and he played
I
a
don't think
big chunk of minutes.
I don't think he'd be doing that in Boston as much though, because a lot of his stuff in Philly was it's Kelly Oubre time. Let me do something. He's not gonna have Kelly Oubre time in Boston, right? Like they need that
Yeah,
with Harden out, but probably not gonna happen too much. Assist numbers, it is Tyrese Halliburton. He put up 11 in his one game. Chris Paul averaging 10.5 is kind of impressive for that Warriors team. He's fitting like a glove though. I mean, all the questions of will he fit? He's played really well for that Warriors team, and they are 1-1 on the season. LaMelo Ball is averaging 9.5. Jokic is this guy's not fair, man. this dude's not. I was listening to the low
5.5
post.
turnovers per game.
Doesn't
Little
matter.
careless.
I was listening to the low post, and he was just like, him and Nikias Duncan were talking, and they're just like, yeah, you just can't really do anything to stop this dude. You just kind of got to score more points than he does, because if there was one possession apparently in the Lakers game where Gabe Vincent was on him, and then he switched off to like get back to his man and switch. And the way they described it was like Jokic was like, "Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it? You gonna do it? Oh, you did it!" And he just took a three and like drained it in his face. Like there's no guarding Jokic. He's nasty, point blank. What else?
Ben
Who's attempting?
Simmons.
Ben Simmons is actually playing pretty well. Yeah,
He's doing everything but scoring. He has become Draymond. And even his scoring, he had 10 points yesterday in their loss to Dallas?
Yeah, he's averaging 7 points on 7 shots a game. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Like he's shooting 50% for the field.
Well, when all
10
your
rebounds.
shots are like layups.
Yeah, 10 rebounds, 8.5 assists, 1 steal, 1.5 blocks, only 2 turnovers is actually pretty good in 27.7 minutes a night. Sam, who is leading the league in total turnovers so far? And it is okay. There's 3 players with 11, so I didn't think there were like this many.
Jokic.
Jokic is 1. Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to cheat. Jokic,
Okay.
Zach LaVine,
No.
Julius Randle.
No. One is both Eastern Conference. One is a point
Trae
guard.
Young.
One is a forward. Trae Young. Yep. The other one's a weird one.
I'm trying to think. It's not Jalen.
Atlantic Division. No.
Atlantic Division, huh?
Yeah.
Is it
Young
Scotty
guy.
Barnes?
It is Scotty Barnes. 11 turnovers. Yeah. Not ideal for Scotty.
Careless.
Barnes. Also 15 assists though, so he's dishing them out still. Blocks leader Jaren Jackson has 8 through 2 games. Chet had 7 blocks last night in one game, I think. It's crazy.
A lot of Celtics up there.
Yeah. Porzingis, Derek White, Drew Holiday, all in the top 10. KCP has 8 steals this season. 31 rebounds in 2 games for Jalen Duren is fucking crazy. That's nuts.
See their new Andre
30.
Drummond.
Maybe, but probably better. 12 of those are offensive too. And then Luka has scored 82 points in 2 games.
He made a crazy shot to put them up or send it to overtime yesterday. Whatever he did, it was like a hook shot from the wing.
It was just a clutch time shot. Yeah. He's nuts.
Pissed me off if that happened to me, I'll tell you that.
Yes, it would. Poor Nets fans. And I can say poor Nets fans now because I kind of like the Nets. I have nothing against them. They're cool. Not fine with the Nets.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like that they're in the Celtics group for this in-season tournament, but besides
yeah,
that,
but I have no. My point is, I have no ulterior motive to not root for the Nets anymore. I have no reason to root against them.
Sure.
Anyways,
gone.
Exactly. Some other news: Anfernee Simons is out for 4 to 6 weeks. Shams reported yesterday. And he will undergo surgery for a UCL tear in his right thumb and is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. Tough for the Blazers. He is on my fantasy team, so tough for me. It just kind of sucks to see like a young guard go down this early in the season where he is supposed to be like a focal point of the offense. Not fun.
Yeah, he was going to get a really big chance. Not to say that he hasn't proven himself enough to get paid because he has, but this would have been a huge moment
already got
for
paid.
him. That's what I mean. He's already been paid.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Would have been a really cool moment for him to take over the team.
Agree. So tough for him. Other news: Rick Carlisle got an extension from the Pacers. There were no details. You don't get details with coaches' extensions, but good for him. I saw a lot of memes saying like, "Oh, they only extended him because the Wizards he killed the Wizards." But no, Rick Carlisle is a good coach. He's going to help lead that Pacers team to the playoffs very soon. Pacers are good, man. I know there's a team you're very high on as well, so we'll see what happens there. But good for Rick Carlisle. That was it.
Good for him, man. Former Celtic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, let's get into the rat list and wrap up here so we can both get on out. I'll let you kick it off.
Can't wait to run. Let's see.
Internet.
So I guess I'll go in chronological order. So yesterday, I am driving from the gym to my house, and there is this intersection in my city. Always busy. Always busy, always busy. Anyways, I'm driving past. I get past the intersection, so I'm home free. And then there is this person preparing to drive out of the Dave's parking lot. Now, Dave's is not an establishment that I'm a fan of. I've complained many a time that they have traffic cops that come out there and stop people and let their customers out of the parking lot. They also got a new location that put a light in.
Do they actually do that?
Yes, that's a real thing. And they do it at this intersection, so they hold up traffic even worse. But that's not what this is about. But they will never get a cent out of me. I will not shop there. I boycott.
Okay.
Them. Swear to God, I boycott.
Is
them.
it a grocery store?
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, I am driving. There's no one behind me. And this guy is just about to blindly just drive out and take a charge. Not looking. Didn't look. And then he's already like out. I've stopped. And then he's like, "Oh, like you can go." It's like, "No, buddy, you're already in my way. Just finish the move. You're making it worse." It was horrible. Yeah. So double rats, shopping at Dave's and just driving like an asshole.
Does he not have a stop sign? Did you just blow through it?
No, he was stopped, and then he looked the other way and thought he was clear. And then he like went out, panicked, and was like, "Oh, sorry," and he's just sitting there.
Those are the worst. The equivalent of it is that I run into every time. I went over this on the show once. There's this Dunkin' where people are coming out of the exit, but it's like an entrance / exit, and they just like come out in the middle, and then they go, "Oh, you can go." I'm like, I'm turning in to there. You did not give me enough room to turn. Finish what you're doing and let me go in. Like, fuck off. Like, get out of my way. Like you already are the idiot in this situation. Finish being an idiot so I can get on with my day.
Yeah. So later in the day, I'm now driving the opposite way, and I am heading towards the light. I am coming in the direction that I was driving. So I'm coming from my house. So I'm at the same section of I'm on the same street of this intersection. I'm trying to make it make sense. The same exit to this place. Okay. So I'm going to paint the picture as best I can. I know I'm struggling. To go left, there is a left turn lane here at this light. This is a lane where you sometimes have to wait twice because it is so long. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I am probably on the border of maybe having to wait twice.
Yep.
The person in front of me elects during a green light to let somebody out of the parking lot.
Yeah.
Terrible. Tank.
Did you miss the light?
Tank, monster truck. Monster truck. You just drive over the top of them.
Did you miss the light?
I missed the light. So did the person in front of me. I swear to God, people are driving this time of year to hit red lights. I don't know what's been in the water here.
No, it's been bad this year. Yeah, I agree. I'm running into the same thing.
This is a stale light, buddy. Step on it. We're going to get stuck.
It's bad. It's so bad.
I'm so emotional.
I literally have on the sheet under my rail list people who drive slow. I don't know why I'm running into people who just drive under the speed limit lately. But what are we doing? Like why are we going 35 and a 40? You should be going 50 and a 40. Like, can we go? Can we go a little faster? Oh my God, it's so fucking annoying.
I'm not into politics, but I may run just to revamp traffic laws. Speed range, not a speed limit.
I'm gonna rat list myself in the situation that I cause kind of. So one of my headlights has been out for a long time. I need to get it fixed. I haven't had time, right? Like I just haven't had time to go take my car to the shop. Last night, other headlight goes out. So I'm driving home at 1:30 in the fucking dark.
Oh my
Can't
God.
see shit. I'm like putting my blinker on because those lights are working just so I can see. However, the most annoying part of it was, and I don't want to rat list the people because they're just trying to be nice. I'm getting your lights aren't on, buddy. Let me flash my high beams at you every fucking time.
Yeah.
And I can't see as it is, so I'm just getting flashbanged
Yeah.
every 2 seconds. I'm like, one guy pulled in front of me on the highway and like flashes brake lights. I'm like, buddy, I know my brakes are out. Fuck off! I can't turn them on. Like there's nothing I can do. Stop fucking flashbanging me. Let me get home.
Well, it's good that you have time to go to the shop today.
Yeah, right. And tomorrow, I definitely have a ton of time, ton of places, ton of fucking stuff to do. No, but like, thank you to the people, I suppose. But like, you're just making it worse. You're just making my night worse by flashbanging me. But driving it home in the dark with no headlights, not a fun time. Very scary.
I can't imagine. That would be terrible.
Very scary.
My car had like this thing where I think the battery was weak, so my lights were not as bright. And I was like, are my lights even on? And like,
that's what it was for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, all right, well, this is tough. I can't imagine not having any lights.
I had a tiny bit because like the orange lights were working. It's just like the main ones were out. So like I was fine. Like I literally was driving down the street with my blinker up, just like I could like vision done.
Yeah.
But we made it home. Just the
should have put your phone flashlight up on the dash.
I know. I was just every 2 seconds I was just getting like,
yeah, it's terrible.
In my face. I'm like, I know.
People are they're trying to help, but you need like a, like the restaurant, like in the windows they have the open light. You should have one that says like, I know.
Yeah, the third time it happened, I should have gone, you know what, fucking swerve, crash into them. I know they're fucking on you. Oh man,
peel out in front of them. All right, so do you have any more? Yes, you do.
I have a couple. So if you want to close, I can go rapid fire, but it's up to you.
Yeah, close because mine are like tied together because it's like
that's
one
fine.
big
So,
story.
I just read one of yours. Please don't say that on the podcast.
I already did that one.
Okay. Quick one. This is just happening before we started recording. Ad pop-ups that move the page when you're clicking, so you click something else. Just the worst.
The worst.
Die in a fire. Just
Celtics
fucking
blog.
terrible.
Celtics blog does that.
Does it? I have ad blocker sometimes, but I don't on certain browsers. And then the other one, shit, I had it and I lost it. I had it and I lost it. I had it and I lost it. Oh, that's pissing me off. Oh, what a day.
Gotta write them.
Tired.
You have it on the sheet. Your cursor's right there.
Oh. People on dating apps who respond with one word. Why are you on the app? I'll be like, how are you doing? Good. I'm like, how's your day? Good. What I think this happens. I agree. Why are you on the app and matching with people if you're going to respond with the driest fucking text messages I've ever read in my life? What is wrong with you? I'm putting in the effort and you're giving me fucking nothing. It shit pisses me off.
You don't understand the luxury of being a lady on the dating apps because, I mean, listen, I don't either, but
yeah, well, like
you're just getting all the attention. Ratios in your favor. Just like 4 guys to every girl on the app, so you're just.
It's like they never. Set. But it's like, but then don't match. Like you can just not be interested in somebody, not match. But if you match with somebody and then you go, good. It's like you're in fucking 3rd grade. Like grow up.
How was school today? Good.
Yeah,
That's
right.
It. That's all you got.
All right, I'm done.
All right. So yesterday, I went to Newport. With my girlfriend. It was kind of impromptu. We just kind of made the drive and got food. So we walk around. We find a place to get our food. We're sitting eating. That place we call a restaurant. Sam, fucking idiot. And we're sitting there. And this is a place where you can clearly see out. Like it's open air. It was a nice day yesterday. But like there's no windows and you're literally just like looking out into the little like alleyway because in Newport everything's kind of close together. And we're sitting there and who do I fucking see is Michael Myers just walking around. Some guys just dressed as Michael Myers in downtown Newport. Just, it's not Halloween. It's the Friday before. You still got 4 days of all the, like, dress up as like Spider-Man or something. Like maybe
So many
like,
costumes.
yeah, maybe something that, like, if someone sees you, they're like, maybe I'll get murdered today. Like, don't do that. And he was like just walking around. When like when you're like in a city, Jack, and there's restaurants, they have the menu outside so you can look at it.
Yeah.
You just got Michael Myers walking up, like staring at the menu, seeing if he's hungry or not. I was like, what is going on here? How is this okay? I don't think that should be legal. I don't think you should be able to be like masked if it's not Halloween. It's kind of dangerous. Like,
yeah, there were so many costumes at the T stop last night. I was so confused because I forgot what time of year it was. I was like,
yeah, I
what the fuck is
guess.
happening?
I don't know. Maybe he was planning for a night out and they do like Halloween.
No, it's still
themes.
lame. It's still lame. I agree.
It's not even lame. It's just creepy.
Yeah,
Just
it's
pick
weird.
a different costume. I don't care if you dress up. Just don't dress up as, hey, I might murder you guy.
Are you in or out on Halloween?
I like Halloween. I'm
We
not
didn't
like a
dress
big
up.
costume guy, but I still enjoy the time.
Okay. Yeah.
The
sure. Fair enough.
media that is around Halloween is far better than anything Christmas.
Hmm.
Halloween scary movies are way better than Christmas movies.
Boo.
It's a fact.
Lame.
You tell me it's not hilarious. Have you ever seen, you know what I watched for the first time was Scream last week.
I've never
Scream
seen it.
is hysterical. I mean, I've seen Scary Movie before, so like that's what it's based off of. So like that's all I can think of. But that movie's hysterical in its own right. The killer's like really shitty at killing people. He's like fumbling around like he's Julius Randle, chasing people. It's great. And then second part of the Rat List from Newport. I'm walking back to my car with my girlfriend, and these two old people are in front of us. They are walking very, very slow. And then we get to my car. And I go to one side, Kaylin goes to one side, and we have passed these people because they were walking slow. And then the people go one side, one side. They split and go around my car as if they're about to get in. It was the most bizarre experience. We walked for like 15 minutes after that, and I was still thinking about it. I was like, I don't know what the hell these people were doing. It was so weird.
Were they like not together and they were getting in separate cars? Like, what the fuck?
No. They were a couple, and they were continuing walking. They were not getting in any car.
What?
I was like, what is happening here? They're just like, it was so bizarre. I don't think they knew it was my car, but it was really, really weird. I'm not doing a good job of explaining it, but
No, I know exactly. what you mean.
Bizarre experience.
Did they just go past your car and like go somewhere else? Like that's such a weird.
But it was like they were like
That's odd.
circling us like sharks. It's like, all right,
No, yeah,
get away from us.
That is definitely weird. Wow. Okay.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
Michael Myers guy was something else.
Michael
was
Myers
just sitting
guy's
there.
weird.
I think she took a picture of him. But
All right. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. I know we both got stuff to do. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to edit this now or I'll have to do it later, but we'll see what happens. I'll probably actually have to edit it later, which is tough for me, but
I'm sorry.
Thank y'all for tuning in. No. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe to How About Them Celtics. Check us out on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple. Leave us a review and 5 stars. We'll be live for the Wizards game on playback to watch live with you guys, as well as a pregame before. Obviously, pregame is 30 minutes for every game. But yeah, I'll let Sam wrap it up.
Yes, we're here. We were here. We're done. Thank you very much for listening and watching. If you're watching, you're on the YouTube, whether it's ours or CLNS's or CLNS's other, make sure you subscribe. If you're on ours, make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any live streams, daily uploads, breaking uploads, whatever it may be. We're here for it. We're putting in the work. So come hang out and watch and get your Celtics fix. You can find us on Spotify and Apple as well. Follow us there. Leave a 5-star review. Say something nice about the fellas. Playback.tv. It's just the name of the podcast with the apostrophe before the bout. You can watch the games with us Monday. Like Jack said, we'll be there for the Wizards game. Come hang out. It'll be a good time. I believe we're going to have at least one of the first of the floor guys. Ben will be joining us. Proud member of the chat for the pregame streams, Ben.
Yes, sir.
We're excited to chat with him and enjoyed the Jordan Poole show on Monday. You can also find us on social media at How About Them C's. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. It's just the name of the podcast. You can find Jack on Twitter at JackSimoneNBA. You can follow me at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Tic-tac-toe.